for Swan Audio Oddities. A gay couple moved into a house. Rob and Kevin. The couple had finally did it, moved out of the apartment they shared for 2 years, and now they got a house. A place they can call home. Kevin worked as a chef and was his own boss. Rob taught art at the local college. The two were finally in a good place. But there was an issue. When they first moved into the 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, they found a creepy, hideous doll sitting in the corner of one of the bedrooms. It was very ugly. One of its eyes were marble black and the other green. The green eye was realistic and at times would blink on its own. It had on a light pink dress that is tattered and dirty. The hair is black, long, and messy. The teeth stuck out of its mouth with a gap in the center. The fingernails are short and sharp, each nail with cracked white paint. The gold color necklace around its neck had the doll's name on it. It spelled out Dolly. Rob felt weird about it as he was the one that came across it first. He found it odd. It was in a room with nothing in it, just sitting there looking like it was waiting for someone to play with it. Who would? It's creepy and ugly. Kevin was the first to touch it. He picked it up and fussed that it smelled like urine and human waste. He immediately tossed it into a trash bag and put it out with the rest of the garbage. A couple of days of living in the house, Rob kept having nightmarish dreams of the doll climbing into bed with him and Kevin. The doll standing up on both feet and filled with rage. It clawed at his face with those nasty sharp fingernails. Some of the nightmares would end with him waking up finding Kevin laying next to him with his face unrecognizable from the doll's attack. One evening, Kevin got back home from a run. Rob wasn't home, and the front door was wide open. Kevin called the police and didn't enter. He swore he closed the door and locked it before he went for a jog. A police officer showed up and went inside. Kevin stood gasping, feeling something bad was going to happen to the cop. Nothing happened. The officer walked out the house shaking his head, looking like he saw something that shook him. He smiled a bit and rubbed his forehead. He patted his chest and let out a breath of feeling relieved.
Yeah, there's no one inside. Sorry, I may look startled,
the officer says, leaning onto his vehicle. He chuckles a bit and looks at Kevin.
I noticed you might have an electric problem. The lights kept flickering and the TV kept turning on and off. I came across a creepy toy in your bedroom closet. It scared me. I nearly jumped out of my skin.
The officer pauses and looks away, blowing out another nervous breath. He continues.
When I got to that master bedroom, I swear I heard a little girl's voice calling out, "Mommy." That's why I went to your room.
The officer smiles, looking to calm his nerves. Doll? Kevin asked surprisingly.
Yes, a baby doll, with the name Dolly printed on its necklace.
Kevin makes a face, looking upset and mad. Rob must have brought that thing back in the house. I threw it away when we first moved here. It's like Rob to try to save antiques and old trash that nobody wants. The officer notices how flamboyant Kevin is, and he nervously shakes his head, agreeing with him. Kevin thanks the officer by shaking his hand and telling him how thankful he is that he showed up. The officer soon took his leave, and Kevin went into the house. Kevin walked into the bedroom and found the doll in the closet, right where the officer said it was. Kevin picked it up and he nearly hurled. He covered his nose with one hand as he held the doll with the other. He rushed outside and walked down the street to the nearest neighborhood dumpster. He threw the doll in and said good riddance. When Rob came home, he was yelled at by Kevin. Kevin was blaming Rob for returning the doll. Rob tried to defend himself, but Kevin was the more aggressive out of the two of them. Kevin soon calmed down and Rob told him the truth. He didn't bring the doll back into the house. Why would he? The doll stinks and it's ugly. The two of them soon heard a child giggling from one of the bedrooms. Kevin looked at Rob wide-eyed. Rob stared back, looking surprised. Kevin took Rob's hand and they both walked to the bedroom that has the giggling sounds coming from it. Kevin opened the door gasping and hoping he wasn't going to see what he thinks is behind the door. Rob's hand trembled inside Kevin's grip. He didn't want to see. He just wanted to run. But also, he didn't want Kevin to see him run, so he fought the motivation to get the hell out of there. The door opens as Kevin shoves it open. The two stand in the doorway shocked. They see nothing in the bedroom. The lights in the house flicker from behind them. The sound of the TV turning on and off is heard. Rob and Kevin turn, almost falling back into the room. They hold one another as they both lay eyes on the doll. Kevin's grip tightens. Dolly stands in the hallway facing them. It giggles. The lights shut off and on rapidly. The doll walks their way, looking like something out of a horror movie, like something that shouldn't be existing. I have two daddies now. Let's play, the doll says with a giggle. It then runs to them and leaps in the air with its sharp fingernails clawing. Both men yell out a blood-curdling scream in horror as the thing in sight is Dolly, coming straight at them.